Today's episode is brought to you with the support of the Brain Collective in Harrogate. They're a brilliant team who specialise in helping people understand how their brains are functioning and how to optimise mental well-being. They work with everything from focus and sleep to stress and resilience, using gentle, non-invasive techniques like neurofeedback and brain mapping. What I love about it is that it's not about labels or diagnosis, it's about understanding your brain and what it needs to thrive. I've had the pleasure of speaking with people who've worked with them, and the feedback is always the same. They say they're supportive, empowering and eye-opening. So a big thank you to the Brain Collective for sponsoring this episode, and you can find out more about their work at thebraincollective.co.uk. Welcome to part 3 in our 3-part series, so the third and final part today in our conversation with Paul Boggie. It's just an inspirational story. I'm really looking forward to hearing how Paul turns his life around and how he uses his life now for good and to help others. So let's get into it.
So that's why the reason that I walked into the Army Recruitment Centre shortly after is destiny. Because I'm too old to be a soldier. So why am I walking into the Army Recruitment Centre? If I'm thinking that I'm too old. I walked in anyway. Because I had this belief. Maybe they can point me in the direction of something that I could do. To be of help to the world. So I went in. Turns out, I'm not too old. I'm in incredibly good shape because of all the running, the boxing, and the weightlifting. It's clear to see. Yeah, I'm old. They can see that I'm old, but I'm in good shape. So I done all the medicals. I done all the look at army life courses, and went down to England and done all these things. And yeah, that thing that you're looking for, this is it. And when I put on my army uniform for the first time, I'd never wanted to get a soldier throughout my whole life. Never, even as a wee boy and playing with the soldier figurines and things. Never watching films. It was never me. I was never that bit, I would really love to join the army and be a soldier and be that bit. No. They were just heroes on the telly. You would watch a film and you think, it looks amazing. These guys are just heroes. But that was never me. And then I passed the medical after telling them about my heroin and all my troubles, and then they allowed me to try and be a Scots Guardsman. And then something just aligned that this itch that I had to find something else, to do something positive and shocking. I like that. I like that shocking factor that, hi everyone, I'm going to be a soldier. Not only am I going to be a soldier, I'm going to join one of the finest regiments in the British Army, and I am going to be a guardsman. I'm going to go down to Buckingham Palace. I'm going to have a red tunic and a bearskin and a rifle, and I'm going to be standing outside Buckingham Palace. Aye, sure you are, Paul. Well done, Paul. Aye, good jokes. And I loved it. Everybody was doubting me. Family and friends, everybody was doubting me, and it felt nice because my self-talk was reacting. When people were mocking me, I felt my self-talk reacting. I felt myself in the mirror, looking at myself and saying, you'll have the last laugh. Just go and do what you need to do and prove everyone wrong. And this was so, and then I went and done it. I passed out, done the pass out parade. Family all come down to Catterick with my red tunic on. And I done it. And then I become a Scots Guardsman 5 years after quitting heroin.
Love it. It's an incredible story. It really is. And it's making me a bit emotional, actually, because it's just night and day. from where you were in that shameful place, isolated, feeling rubbish about yourself, and there was nothing good about you, and I can see in your face, that you're smiling when you're telling the story about the Scots Guard, and you're just lit up from such a low place. You can't imagine anything lower, really, suicidal, to then feeling like you've stepped into your purpose, which is the ultimate. That's the ultimate that we all strive for in life, isn't it? When we feel aligned with what we're supposed to be doing, and when we feel that you did fit in. You fit in with you. You didn't, not necessarily anybody else, but you fit in with you. Finally, you found the true, authentic you, I guess. I just love this story so much. I really do. And you've gone on to write 2 books and speak in schools and prisons, handing out sleeping bags and stuff like that. I mean, and I think you give the proceeds of the book away as well to a charity. Is it to the homeless, did you say?
Yeah, so the first book, when I wrote the first book during lockdown and published it, I was looking to fill this void again, where running saved me from the heroin, and I'm sitting during lockdown, and I'm needing something. So when I wrote the book, I thought, what can I do? Got that itch again. I need to do something. I thought, do you know what? So many people die every year for hypothermia in Scotland. Year after year, you see people dying, losing their life because they're homeless. Well, I'm going to try and help as many of those people as I can. That's going to be my new calling. That's going to be my new thing, to feel alive, to feel fulfilled like I did when I was a Scots Guardsman. This is what I'm going to do. So I can donate all the proceeds to the book. That's a start. And I felt really good and happy and proud about myself when I decided to do that. Incredibly, and I am to this day, and I always will be. That's who you are. Go and help. Don't sit and wallow in self-pity and feeling sorry for yourself for things that happened, why your army career ended and the injuries that you've got. Stop feeling sorry for yourself. We've been down this road before. We know how potentially it can end. So shut up, get on with it, find something that's going to make you feel passionate and things, and helping the homeless was that first step into regaining that pride and me starting to feel like, happy about myself. And so that's what I do. So I just buy sleeping bags and supplies for the homeless, and I distribute them across Scotland and help as many homeless people as I can. And then off the back end of that, being on social media, I start to get people reaching out, prison officers, school teachers, charities and things, and saying, Paul, we're listening to you talking and we think it's amazing, and how would you feel about coming in and doing a talk to our residents or our pupils, or and I was like, yeah, like that sits really well with me. I enjoy talking, and the things that I talk about, it can maybe help save someone that was in the same dark place that you were. And surely, like you said on the day that you left the army to the commanding officer about potentially being a drug counsellor, if you can help save one person, then it's a mission worthwhile. So when I was getting invites to do these talks and things, I thought, yeah, if I can get through to one person, then it's worthwhile doing. So I started going and doing all my motivational speaking and saying to people, look, folks, I never went to rehab. I don't even know what the 12 steps program is. I don't even know what it is. I hear it a lot, don't know what it is. I'm not a religious man. I never turned to God to rid myself like many people do. I was taught from an American psychologist called Lou Tice about the power of the mind, about the ability to change, how important self-talk is for us, every single human being on planet Earth, especially for someone like me that was in a dark place and feeling very negative about themselves. The ability to change that. I've done that. I listened to what he said and then what was taught, and I applied it to my own life. And 21 years ago, I tell them the story about the mirror, and I say, as much as you may not believe that to be true, that is what happened. And I don't believe that I'm that special a man, an individual, that it can only just happen to me, that something miraculous happened 21 years ago just for me. There's other people out there that this will save. So here I am. And I hope that, you know, on listening to my story and how, in my journey and how I got clean and how I broke the cycle, no relapses or anything over those 21 years, never even came close. I hope that it helps inspire you or give you hope for the future to never ever give up.
And what you're saying is really inspiring, and the self-talk and how we speak to ourselves is hugely important. There's loads of science around it. It's something that I talk about loads with the therapy clients that I work with. I talk about it in my online courses. I talk about it all the time. Self-talk, how we treat ourselves, what we expect for ourselves, and how we speak to ourselves as well. It's a game changer. It's the single most thing that, from what you're saying, I really hope they take away with them today. It's powerful. It sounds silly, and a lot of people find it awkward as well, saying things into the mirror, but it's powerful, and the science backs that up.
And also, when I do my talks as a relative nobody, I say to people, look, I talk about how self-talk saved my life. Now, you don't have to take my word for it about self-talk. You can go on YouTube and the celebrities that are now putting out content specifically talking about self-talk and how they use self-talk. And we live in that kind of world, right? That people only listen to people that are somebody that, are famous.
Yeah.
They'll latch on to somebody and believe everything that they say, but just because they're famous. So I say to people, don't take my word for it. Go and have a look on YouTube and you'll see these celebrities talking about self-talk, and maybe that might strike a chord with you because they're doing it and that might help save your life. So
Yeah,
that doesn't matter where the message comes from.
absolutely.
It's that the message gets out.
Absolutely. Yeah, 100%. Talking about that, you've spoken really openly, and I think that when people can be as vulnerable as you have been and kind of facing it head on is what you did, really. Took accountability and stepped into that vulnerable space where you wanted to change, and change is hard anyway in anything.
Yeah.
You talked about the shame, the isolation, and wanting to fit in, and all those things. For someone listening who's in that dark place right now, what would you say to them?
They wouldn't believe it, would they?
No.
Somebody that is in a dark place that I am in, hears someone like me banging on about the power of the mind and the positivity and the things, they don't believe it. But I never believed it either. I never believed it when they told me about self-talk. I never believed it. So to those people that are watching and listening that are in that dark place, that don't see a light at the end of the tunnel, that feel like life has somehow turned out this horrible mess, I say to those people, just stick with it and keep trying. Because as long as you keep trying, there's always hope. Something similar will happen to me, can happen to you as well. You just have to believe. Everybody just has to believe. I get people say to me every day, not everyone's as strong as you, Paul. Not everyone's as strong as you, Paul. And I'm saying, no, well, you're wrong. Just not everyone believes they're as strong as what I believe. That self-talk turns into self-belief. You just have to believe, and that's hard when you're depressed. That's hard when life has kicked you to the curb. It's hard to change that thing, but the change is possible.
Just a quick pause in the episode to let you know about something special. If you're enjoying these conversations, you'll love what's waiting for you over on the brand new Member Vaults page. You'll find free downloads, bonus podcast episodes, and a chance to explore my VIP club. A supportive space packed with exclusive resources. We'll have monthly Zoom sessions or online video sessions, and a private podcast feed just for members. So head over to angelineht.co.uk to dive in. So that's angelineht.co.uk. Everything's in one place, and it's all made with you in mind. Okay, now back to the episode. Yeah.
So the people that have taken time to listen to this podcast and get to the end in the hope that there is a message of hope or inspiration, well, there is. Trust me, you are strong enough. You are worth more than what you are telling yourself every day. And think about self-talk and how bad your self-talk is right now. If you are being so negative to yourself on a daily basis, is it any wonder you're depressed? Of course you're going to be depressed. We can reprogram and we can relearn and we can change the things that make us so sad and make us so angry in life. We can do it. Everyone can do it. It's a choice.
And what I was hearing you say there was, and when you was talking earlier, is you started to gather little bits of evidence that you're not as bad as you thought you were. You started making different choices. So, maybe that's it. Maybe for people to try and do one thing today that they can turn around and say, I'm happy with that. I'm happy that I just tried that small little thing, whatever it is, and then the next day, do something else, just something really small. And then make sure that you say to yourself that self-talk, well, I did that today. And that was a win.
Yeah.
And that's it. That's it.
That's so important. When I'm helping people with their addiction problems, I say to people, right, so you're on 100 ml a day of methadone right now. You don't want to be on methadone. That's why you reach out to me. You want to come off the methadone, right? So think about self-talk. Think about this, that, and other. And I give them all the information as best I can. And I always say, remember, when you decide that you are going to break away, when you go from 100 milliliters of methadone a day to 95, you're not a loser because you only cut 5 mils out. If you tell yourself that, you'll believe it. It's amazing that you've cut 5 out.
Yeah.
You've cut 5. And when the time's right, you'll go to 90. And make sure you tell yourself good things for doing it. And when you get to 85, continue it. That feeling that you're given, it feels nice, right? When you're trying and a month ago I was on 100 mils, now I'm on 50. That's amazing. I'm proud of myself. I've halved my daily intake. This is good, right? And you keep going, and you keep going to whatever level you can get to. You maybe get off and get clean like I did. But even if you don't, you've still halved your daily drug use. That's amazing in itself. So didn't put the pressure on that you have to get clean like that. Just take it in stages and just work down. And make sure that you're always telling yourself, at least you've done good, at least you've done something good today.
Yeah.
You know? And focus on that more than the negative things, and you will go far.
Yeah. And it's believing that you deserve something better in life. It's believing that you do deserve the same as the next person, you know. We all have our own challenges to overcome. And I think that that's a huge part of it as well, is to believe that you do deserve a better life, to try and start that process of those small changes where you're gathering evidence, showing yourself that actually I can do a little bit of something. And you know, you've talked about that in the previous chat that we had, that life isn't a bed of roses, and that we do face challenges, but you deal with them differently now.
People just believe that they're perfect, and those people have already failed in life, in my opinion. Every day's a school day. We are always learning, so everybody makes mistakes. I get it. Some are more serious than others, but everybody makes mistakes. So if I am going to live on the back of all the mistakes that I have made, I'm going to be on drugs, in prison, or in a box. I know that about myself. If I allowed that to happen. So as much as I regret all the bad mistakes that I made, life's not about that. Life's about changing. Life's about becoming better. And that's all I do in life now, is just try and be better, but be realistic. I'm going to get things wrong, and I'm not perfect. I still get angry. I still get these emotions that, you know, and I use self-talk to bring me around, to make me better. You know, when I've got a podcast this morning, my back is absolutely killing me. I don't know what to get up. I want to go back to sleep. My alarm's going off. I'm hitting snooze. I don't know what to get up. You'll enjoy it when I get up and get a cup of tea. Angelina will send you the link over, and you just get up. You'll enjoy it, and you'll see after you finish on the podcast, you're going to feel amazing. You know this because you've done 54. You're going to feel amazing after you've done it, because you've put your little bit out for people listening that potentially you can help. I didn't know who they are. I didn't care who they are. I didn't care what mistakes these people have made. That's why I go into the prisons. I'm not interested in what mistakes people have made. I'm only interested in trying to help people get better, not to kick them when they're down. You know? And that's, so I use the self-talk every day. It's become my normal thing where I feel myself in a negative mindset because I'm not perfect. And I use self-talk to fight my way around it, to do the things that I don't want to do, or that I can't be bothered to do, or, you know, and use that all the time. And it's an amazing gift. And it's a gift that I've been given. And it's a gift that I just try and share with the world. Hence why I'm sitting talking to you this morning. And that's what I'll always do. The documentary, the books, all the shows I'm doing, the motivational speaking. I am dedicated and passionate about trying to help people understand the power of self-talk. And I use my own personal experience with my battles with heroin and joining the army and all that stuff as proof in the pudding. I'm talking from experience. I'm not talking because I read it from a book. I've lived that life, and I can tell you that exists. The ability to change exists. It's just belief is the problem. If you didn't have any self-belief, you'll not achieve. Just belief. Where does the belief come from? Well, it's different for everyone, isn't it? We just fire out with much information.
I think that I'm really pleased, by the way, that you did get out of bed, because I wouldn't have wanted to miss out on it, and I'm sure our listeners wouldn't either. But this is a real story of true success. And I say true success because our culture will often have us believe that, success is to do with money and fame and, what car we have and all that kind of thing. But when you really follow your heart, for want of a better phrase, really sounds a bit cheesy, but you've really just followed what you thought is the next right thing to do, and just gone with it, without any certainties, or sort of stepped out of your comfort zone at many times along this journey. And I just think that that's the real picture of success, when you align with yourself and your true values and what you feel is the right thing. And sometimes that goes against popular opinion as well. So it's not always easy, but it's incredible. What's the most surprising thing you've learned about yourself in recovery?
That I am enough.
Wow. I love that.
Just enough. And that's good enough for me. And I'm fortunate now. I've got an amazing, beautiful wife, and my parents and my whole family and stuff are very supportive of me and everything that I do. But for me, in my life, through the self-talk that goes on in my life every minute and every day, I am enough. And that's all I've got for the world. That's all I've got for myself. That's a good feeling from where I've been, to finally sit alone with my own thoughts and think to myself, I am enough.
Yeah, I love that. I'm sure I've spoken about something like that on one of the online courses or somewhere along the line. It's so simple but so true, isn't it? Most people really don't believe that. Yeah, I really love that. One final question, Paul. If you could go back and speak to your younger self, that 5 or 6-year-old boy trying to fit in, what would you say to him?
You're not ugly. Because that the unfortunate thing for me is that because so many people called me ugly, I believed that was the case. And when I look at the pictures now, when I was 5 and 6, yeah, nothing wrong with me whatsoever.
It's strange, isn't it?
But in my mind, I believed that I was some kind of ogre, like horrible looking person, horrible looking boy. And I look at the pictures and I think, where did that mindset come from? So if I could go back, I would, and that would have changed. I believe it would have changed my life. I may have went on and achieved on a different path.
Yeah, but this was meant to be. This was meant to be, wasn't it, really? I had a client, actually, that was called a name once, only once, but it was a terrible name when he was quite young. And it changed his life completely, changed his relationships and what he expected for himself in life. He really believed it. He really believed, and it was a child that said it to him. They were really young, again, about 5 or 6. It just changed his whole life. I worked with him for a while. So it's unbelievable, the power of words and what we believe when we're children, really. But thank you so much for sharing your truth with us today, your vulnerability and strength. You've really walked the walk. You're not only talking the talk, as you say. It's a testament to the power of change. It's a testament to what we do have inside us. And I see this in working with people who are depressed. So I've got even more evidence of talking to you, but also there's loads of examples of this. The power that we have within us never ceases to amaze me. It's just incredible, the resilience that people can find, and the importance of that self-compassion is huge. It's got to be, high on our lists, I think. Imposter syndrome, believing, doubting ourselves, believing that we're not as good as the next person. Social media would have us compare ourselves to others all the time, which is the worst thing we can do. It's the worst thing we can do, isn't it? Because we're not like the next person, but we're not supposed to be, I really love the impact that you're having on the world. I really do. I think it's amazing. And for those listening, we'll link Paul's books and any other information, where that you can get in contact with Paul. We'll put all of his links in the show notes. And if you are struggling, just know that there is help out there. You're not alone, as difficult it is to reach out. But on that note, I just want to say thank you, really, from the bottom of my heart, for joining us today. Thanks for being with us at Happiness, Health, Relationships podcast, where small daily habits are your future self. If today's episode resonated, share it with someone you love. Follow the show, leave a quick review. It helps more people find this message of more fulfilled, healthy living. It'll also help keep the podcast going. If you want a little extra between episodes for simple weekly tips and habit challenges and behind-the-scenes updates, come hang out on Instagram at Hennessy-Thompson or TikTok at AngelineHT. You'll find the links below. I'd love to connect with you there. Remember, your future isn't shaped by big leaps, it's built in the quiet, consistent choices you make every day. And we want to be with you through those choices. So keep showing up for yourself, one day, one choice, one habit at a time. And I'll see you on the next episode.